So you had mentioned to me, Charles, that you kind of think about this as kind of more like being a vacation, being here. Your vacation's about to end. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Well, okay, if I'm not of this world and I'm only a visitor, I must be on vacation. That means I must have planned this vacation. How many of us go on vacation? You go on vacation, you plan, you check the area out, you find out where you want to go eat, what you want to go see, and what's on, during the time, and you want to check out the weather. So you plan what you're going to do at different stages of your vacation, different days. So I made a trip plan. So here I am. This is the vacation. So I'm going home one day. So after the vacation, it's time to go home.
Is that a great way to look at it?
That's awesome.
Isn't that just awesome? Charles really understands that death is an illusion. And once you understand that, your mission becomes different here on this planet. And let me share it with you as it says in A Course in Miracles. Right? It simply says this: what is death? And this comes from the Manual for Teachers, section 27. It says, Teacher of God, your one assignment could be stated thus: accept no compromise in which death plays a part. What seems to die has but been misperceived and carried to illusion. Now it becomes your task to let the illusion be carried to the truth. Be steadfast, but in this: be not deceived by the reality of any changing form. Truth neither moves nor wavers, nor sinks down to death and dissolution. How many have figured out where it said that one part there where it says, be not deceived by the reality of any changing form? How many have figured out that your body changes? Maybe the older it gets, the faster it changes. Okay, yeah. But that's the illusion. That's why it's saying, be not deceived by any changing form. This is not Charles sitting here. All right? This is simply the form he's showing up in a moment to share his love with you. So can you talk about that just a little bit, about how you see death as an illusion?
Well, first, death, if I am a perfect child of God, and I'm eternal, how does death enter into anything? If I can't die, what is death? So why would I concentrate on death when it's all about living? I have a thing where I say, if it's not worth living for, it ain't worth dying for. If it ain't worth dying for, it ain't worth living for. So you have to concentrate on those things.
Well said. Charles and I, as we were talking about this morning, we thought it might be kind of appropriate for allow any of you out there to have any questions for Charles. And I know it may be hard to even formulate a question in your mind, but we all have questions around this thing called life and death. Some of the biggest questions that we have are around that. Maybe you have someone in your family that either they're in the same kind of situation that Charles is, or you know that it's kind of imminent. If that's the case, you have questions. And I thought of no one better to ask than Charles. So does anybody have any questions like that, Charles?
I have actually two. I was thinking, what is your daily practice, like spiritual practice, and then how do you keep your level of joy? They're kind of related.
So Gabe asked, what is his daily practice, and how does he keep his level of joy?
Well, I use the Course in Miracles books all the time. Okay, and a lot of times I'm watching different type of movies, or I'm writing something. I keep my meditation, and I just start having fun, start enjoying, and doing the things I enjoy. And it just starts unfolding. That's my day. It's just whatever shows up, I just live in the moment. That's all I have is the moment. So I just live in that moment, and I may plan things, but it's still moment by moment. So take it as it goes.
Which is good advice for every one of us.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? Regardless of your current situation, is to live in the moment. to be present right here, right now. Because if you're present in the moment, it doesn't matter what the next moment is, does it?
No.
It really doesn't, as long as you're in the moment. And this is where I've seen Charles show up. Charles shows up in the moment, keeping his joy in the moment, living his life in joy. That's why he enjoys life every moment. Great questions. Great question, Gabe. Kathy.
I've thought about this on and off, not in relation to you, but in just relation to my own family. How do you sort of wrap your brain around, like, we're used to relating on the level of form. We're used to relating to Andre as Andre and Norma as Norma. How do you wrap your brain about letting go of that? Because although your body will die, you will continue. And I know, in theory, and I say in theory because it's hard to know this, that we're all one and we're all in touch, and my mother is still here with me, but when I'm in form, I don't always feel that. So, I mean, how do you let go? How do you let go of, and talk to your mother about this, and how do you manage that aspect of dying?
You know, at times, you know, when I deal from the ego, outer man, okay, and it shows up because I'm dealing with both, you know, inner and outer. And like I said, to me, this is just a vehicle, like I said, a form. It's just what I chose for this vacation. I have come to understand that there is no separation. So why am I going to, if I believe, the first lie is that I was separate from God. And then everything else is set up, it's a separation. I mean, it separates genders, you separate colors, I mean, everything is being separated. Okay, but when you really realize that there is no separation, okay, that I'm going to always be here, I'm just in a different dimension, but I'm here. And at times, you may even feel me. It's a movie, I called Tony, I was all excited. I said, dang, I got one I want. And he said, oh, he already seen that one.
What was it?
It's called What Dreams May Come.
Oh, yes.
Okay? So, I'm realizing, and from what God is bringing to me, to what I call it alarms. Like I said, alarm, like you said, you're trying to awake from a dream, you know, to wake up. And I call it alarm. I said each thing that did happen in my life was an alarm to wake me up, to for me to focus on who I am, who I really am. Okay, but as far as for separating, how can you separate something that never have been separated? So that's a falsehood, for one, and okay, that means that my deception is off, and it said what is true can't be threatened, what ain't real never happened. So why should I concentrate on us being separated when it's...
Wow.